Welcome back everyone. So our EKS cluster is created. You can see here the status is active now. Let's head over to the next part and see what we need to do next. So this is my documentation right here. And I'll open the next file, which is to create manage node groups using AWS console. First of all, we need to create a role using AWS for the AWS managed console. So just click on IAM. Select roles. I'm not gonna follow it. Okay, it's just for you people. I already know what to do. So I'll just create it for, and you people just can see it. Select EC2 and click on next. For the permission policies, you need to attach 4 policies which I have mentioned here. EKS worker node policy, just copy and paste it here, and it will, and that option will pop up. Select this. We need this policy too. CNI policy. And manage instance code. By the way, all this thing is mentioned in the documentation as well, okay, but it's kind of overwhelming if you're working with EKS for the first time. EKS managed node group role. I follow this Pascal casing. If you want, you can just go with the snake case or camel case or whatever you prefer. Click on create role. Okay, so I don't know why there's this problem with this button, but every time someone tries to create role, it just doesn't work. Okay, and in the back end it works, and the role gets created, but it just doesn't show up in the UI. So if you just search here EKS managed node group roles, you can see it just got created here, which is at 21:23, which is 9:23, and it's 9:23 here. So there's something wrong with the console, but let it be. Create the node group in the private subnets. Now let's head over to EKS cluster. Head over to our cluster, and in under compute, if you see right now we have no node groups. Click on add node group, and we'll name it primary node group. Select the IAM role that we just created, which is the EKS managed node group role. You can put Kubernetes labels as well as taints here if you want, but I'll leave it for the next part of the video, so just skip this part for now. And for the AMI, just keep it the default one. I mean, the console automatically selects the best AMI based on your region. It might differ from the region to region, and if you want a GPU based resources, you have a bunch of AMIs here, but for us standard will suffice. T3 medium seems quite good, and the desired size should be, let's just change the size to 1 and minimum size to 0. No, I think I messed up. Come on, maximum size is 2, minimum size is 0. Let's head over to the next part. Select the subnets. So if you saw, it automatically selected the 2 EKS private subnets. Configure remote access to nodes. When enabling this option, manage node groups will create a security group on your behalf with port 22 inbound access. If launching your worker in a public subnet, it's strongly recommended to restrict the source public IP ranges. We can definitely enable this feature because our EKS node groups is going to be created in the private subnet, which means we can only connect to it from inside the VPC. And EC2 key pair, just select lab key. I already have this lab key with me. click on next. And review all the configurations that we have done and click on create. I'll just need a screenshot here. Alright, just select the security group, go to next and click on create. The moment you click on create, EKS will create the node groups for you, and you can then access your node groups in the compute section. I'm not gonna do it because I've already done it and I already have node groups. So this is how you create your EKS clusters and you add node groups to it. Now I'll show you how you can connect to your cluster using an EC2 console. If you remembered, when we were creating the EKS clusters, we created the cluster to be in a private mode, and you can see it here as well. If you just go to access, it must be somewhere here, just give me a sec. So if you see here, API server endpoint access, it's private, alright, which means you need to spin up an EC2 instance inside this VPC to access the EKS using the kubectl or any other tool that you prefer to use. Alright, so let's head over to EC2.